for regular news here in the city of Southern California, catching up with undefeated super flyweight boxer Perla Bazaldua, going for victory number 3 on August 2nd at Soboba Casino. How's everything going, Perla? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Everything's going great. Camp's going great. I've been in the gym. I'm getting prepared. It's only my 3rd fight, but I have to make a statement. This is only the beginning, but little by little, I'll move up the ranks and soon for a world title.
A successful top rank debut back on May the 2nd in San Diego, California. Talk to us about that experience and how welcome did you feel with your new top rank family now?
They were super welcoming. It was a humble experience. I got a lot of attention. I got a lot of publicity.
A lot of media.
Yeah, a lot of media. And it felt great, getting the spotlight. I knew I had to show out. I prepared well. She was a tricky southpaw, but I did my job, and it was such a good experience. There was a lot of love, there was a lot of support, and I just felt loved, and it just gives me more motivation to do better each fight.
Okay, so just like I was telling you, I was able to watch you fight as I was driving to the arena. You dominated all the rounds, but there was one thing that I kept noticing, and Coach Estrellita Hasso kept telling you in your corner, you were lowering your hands a bit.
Yes.
Was that a problem throughout the fight, and is that something you've been working on for your next fight?
No, yeah, of course. I never stop learning. I gotta learn from those mistakes, and that's what we've been doing in camp. Fixing details, tweaking it a bit, and it just helps me for my next fight, because each fight's gonna get tougher. Each fight's gonna get a little more aggressive. You gotta be a little more better on your IQ. So I'm working things on in camp, sparring, training. Everything's down to every little detail.
How does a fighter forget to lift up that hand while you're fighting? Is it the emotion, or is it you just feel pleased to land one punch and you just forget about the other?
I feel like that's sometimes I worry about connecting too much, and I don't worry about bringing it back up. But that's what we've been doing. It's little habits, and each habit is gonna it's a habit, and you gotta break out of it. So that's what I've been working on. It's been great. I feel like there's been a lot of improvement.
So now, which brings us now to Lilian Almaraz, a fighter with a little more experience than you have. 5 fights total. Took your took Lupita, your teammate Lupita Medina to the distance to 4 rounds, and she also fought Gloria Munguia. Tell us about what you think of Lilian Almaraz.
No, she's a great fighter. Each opponent is gonna test me. Each opponent is gonna give it their all, and that's what I expect. That's what I'm preparing for. Every opponent is different, so every camp is different, and I expect her to expect both of us to put on a great show. Females leave it all in the ring, so I expect a great fight. I expect her to bring her all, and I'm gonna bring my all also.
Are you looking to get more rounds, or if you have the opportunity to stop the fight earlier?
No, of course. If I have the opportunity, I have to take her out of there. It's about showing my place in the pro ranks. It's about making a statement. So if I see a sign, I have to take it.
Okay. Every 3-4 months, is that the pace that Perla Bazaldua likes her career at this stage right now?
Yeah, of course. I'm at the stage where each fight is, it's gonna get bigger and bigger, and of course I want to stay active. I want to stay on top of it, and the faster I move up in the ranks, the better. I gotta have I gotta have a good pace and all that. I have to keep myself, my 2 feet planted, but I just gotta keep going up.
How did you get so well at handling the media, Perla? Because when I first met you as a young teenager, 12, 13 years old, not having enough experience of being in front of the camera, you're a complete pro.
I don't know, my dad has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
He's always made us focus, like how the media is gonna handle everything. Of course, like he already knew, he believed in me and my brother since we were little about how big we were gonna be. So he always told us to speak well, articulate your words well, have good charisma, because it's the people, the fans, So I have.
And you do know you are connecting with your fans,
yes,
right?
Of course, especially my Hispanic fans. It's such a good I feel like it's such a good emotion, like people showing all that love and support to me. It's really humbling. It's really nice. You know, I feel like that's a big motivation in my
Okay,
career.
diles unas palabras a la comunidad latina ahorita que estamos
Sí.
en esta entrevista entonces.
No, muchas gracias a toda mi gente latina que me apoya en mi carrera. Esto es el comienzo y cada paso y cada pelea va a ser más importante y les quiero agradecer por todo el apoyo porque pues es un placer, ¿no? Representarlos y representar a la raza.
All right, so I'm sure you've been asked this question before, but how did you choose to be wearing that hat for your fights?
I feel like I always was in love like with my western side, my Mexican side. You know, I have pride. I have you know, it's very prideful because especially as a Mexican, I love going to Mexico. I love horses. I love the food. I love the culture. You know, and it's like representing my culture, and there's nothing I love more than.
So was that the connection you had with Vaquero Navarrete when you fought on this
Yeah, they made that connection, so now I'm called La Vaquera. That's my nickname, La Vaquerita.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's the connection we had, the Tejanas and all that culture. But you know, it symbolizes a part of me. It symbolizes where I come from. It symbolizes who I represent, the people I represent, and it's just, you know, it's a big part of me.
And of course, everybody knows I'm not gonna go ahead and disclose information that we don't have.
Yeah.
But Top Rank is planning on having a new platform. So obviously, by the time you fight your fourth fight, you'll be on a bigger and better platform,
Yeah,
right?
of course. You know, that's the plan, having a big platform to show my talent, to showcase my skills. And you know, every experience, every fight, it's humbling, and I'm honored that Top Rank chose me to be their fighter, and it's a big motivation to keep showing out every fight.
There you go. Perla, you couldn't have said it any better. Ladies and gentlemen, Perla Bazaldua going for victory number 3 against Lilian Almaraz, August 2nd from Soboba Casino. And where will this fight be streaming?
This fight will be streaming. I will post a link on my Instagram. You could follow me on my Instagram at Bazaldua_Perla. It's a link. It's not a app, but yeah, keep tuned in for that.
There you go. Thank you very much, Perla, and I'll be seeing you on August 2nd.
Yes.
Thank you.